Hello, good morning. How is everybody? Oops, a little too much. Here we go. Okay, welcome. We're going to do a reading for actually the world, the United States primarily, but the world for the first part of June, which I'm recording this on Thursday, June the 5th. And we're going to be looking at the energetic predictions for that first part of June and into June. And I'm also going to be doing some current event cards, which I haven't been doing a lot of, but I'm being really called to do that. And so if you're new here, I'm Susannah. I'm a Clair-Intuitive, which means I get spiritual psychic messages from my spirit team clairvoyantly, which means I get images, clairsentiently, which means I feel things, and claircognitively, which means I get words, and that I use that sense a little bit more when I'm channeling. I should tell you, I've decided to change up my format a little bit. I hope it'll work out for you all. I've been going really long on my videos because I've been doing both the cards and the channeling, and I'm going to break those up. So I'm going to do cards and for the coming week, and hopefully start releasing that on Friday. And then I'm going to go ahead and channel at the same time, but I'm going to wait and release that on a Monday. And then my team has really been talking to me about getting the channeled message out into the world. So I already have it in a written format. So if you have some good ideas, do you guys use Substack? What would be a good place for me to put that those channeled messages where they can be read back over, because they really have been pretty deep about prophecy and things that it takes a little bit to digest. I know there was one I wound up watching my own channeling 2 or 3 times just to try to understand what they were saying. It was really very beautiful. So I hope that works. Let's give it a try, and we'll see if it provides me an opportunity to bring forward more information from spirit for you in a way that benefits you, and that's all I want. So if you're already a subscriber, thank you, welcome back. I am so glad to be here to do this for you and for me and for the world. It really feels like a service, and service for me, Susannah the human, but also for the greater collective. And goodness knows we've got a lot going on right now. So let's get right to it. I didn't put my cards. I always put my cards from last week in the middle, because I frequently, even though this deck has 55 cards, I frequently get the same cards, which my team says is no problem. So if they're not worried about it, I'm not worried about it. Okay, God Source. It's a beautiful day here in the Ozarks, but man, am I tired of this rain. I am so tired. Usually have a pretty good tolerance for rain. My ancestors are Scottish, and I think I have some DNA floating around from living in caves and rainy days, but it is getting to be a lot. I'm ready for some sunshine. What else happened this week? We got our oldest son moved into a new apartment. He's doing well, and our 2 others are back home with us for the summer. So my grocery bill has gone through the roof, and man, things are expensive. I honestly went to Aldi's and spent more than I've ever remember spending in my life, and the cashier didn't even blink. So I don't know. Still no shortages here in terms of being able to get items, but things are definitely getting expensive. Oh, this is super interesting. So I, because we're consolidating households and things with the kids coming and going, I should say young men coming and going, we've got some extra furniture, a really lovely dining room set and a couple small refrigerators. And I posted them on Facebook, And normally when you post things on Marketplace on Facebook, at least my experience has been that people are messaging you, is this available? You know, blah, 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 blah. I've gotten one message. And I think that just speaks to this idea of the energy of conservatorship is what I'm getting claircognitively. People are really garnering their resources and feeling like, you know, I don't want to spend money on a very cute dining room table. I may need that money, even though it's a really good deal. So, yeah, that energy feels very pervasive to me right now. This idea of hunkering down, not spending any money we don't have to. And if everyone's like me, it's because your grocery bill and all the things that you're paying are, I bet I paid a third more than I normally do. And so I'm going to take off, I'm going to say a fourth more because we don't normally have this many people under one roof, but interesting times. I can't wait to pull some current event cards too. So, but right now we're just tapping into the energy. What is going to happen this next week spiritually, particularly for the United States? And again, this is the ring of energy that's furthest out spiritually. Mary, mothering and nurture. Where's my mother and nurture? Can you see that? Okay, let's see what I get. Oof, chills. Spiritually, mothering and nurture. Right. So I'm really seeing this little, and so the way this works for me, this is like pulling cards. Can you see the little butterfly there in the corner right there in the glasses? So the way that this psychic doing cards this way works for me is it's kind of like a hack, like a clairvoyant hack. Like instead of having to come up with this image in my mind or them give me this image in my mind, I pull it and then they give me information. And so what I'm really being drawn to is the idea of getting back spiritually to taking care of ourselves and those we love in the simple acts. And so she's prepared this lovely little tea with, I'm assuming, mint leaves or something in it. And in focusing spiritually on these little acts of nurturing and loving ourselves. We got to love ourselves first. And those in our sphere, that our spirit begins to settle, that our spirit will be settled by focusing on those rituals that we do around family and home and nurturing. What else, God Source, do you want to say about this? That there's been a preparation time, and now we're using what we have. These little leaves feel like they came from her backyard. Okay. Using our resources wisely is what I'm getting. Spiritually. All right, emotionally, God Source, what are we going to be looking at this next week and into June emotionally? This kind of tends for me, this tends to be the thing that I'm thinking about, like kind of like without maybe even being aware of it, like it just kind of comes up and I think about it emotionally. God Source. Thomas, mind trap and doubt. We've gotten this one before. And this is emotional. Mind trap and doubt. Let's get that focus. And this is based on the doubting Thomas, who in the Bible, the story is after Jesus rose from the dead and he appeared to his disciples, Thomas said, I don't believe it. I don't believe it's really you. And in a spiritual sense, an emotional sense, that was held against him, that he should have had the faith. And Jesus showed him the wounds on his hands and his feet. And if you're new here, I tend to use the Christian vernacular, but please don't let my words put you off. That's just the foundation of spirituality I was raised in. But I long since have, and certainly my direct interactions with God's source, I absolutely know there's something beyond any one religiosity. So I say God source, insert whatever feels right to you, and I'm delighted that you have your own spiritual vocabulary. So this is emotionally. This feels like a card of faith. We're being challenged, and we will be challenged to have faith that the miracle can happen, that the good thing can happen. We've been so beat down that I'm also pro-democracy, not fond of the current administration. So this has been a rough season for me and for many people to see our constitutions trampled on. That fear that things are irrevocably broken, they're giving me. We need our collective belief that better days are coming. The wrongs will be righted, and the rights will be brought forward. We need that collective belief in energy. And so this next week and into June, as you find yourself despairing and thinking it's all over, we're headed into a fascist state, we're going to lose our rights and our freedoms, my spirit team would like to encourage you to have faith. And it says mind, trap, and doubt on the side. So just hold that little nugget and be aware that you have some energetic support there with your own spirit team to pull through some faith, and use it to empower yourself. Like we are going to be okay. And in that belief, you put that energy out into the world, and that's what they are bringing forward with this emotional card. Okay. Mentally, what is going on in the United States and the world mentally? So this is going to be the thing that's more front and center. These rings of energy tend to go out and then move in from the spiritual to the emotional to the mental. And the mental is the thing that you're putting on your to-do list, or your I need to get that done, or I'm actively worried about that. Something you're more aware of. So let's see, mentally. Children, cherish and enter their world. Children, cherish and enter their world. Mentally. So this is a really interesting card. As I mentioned, we've got our mostly adult sons kind of coming back to roost, and we were out to dinner with them, and I said to them, I said, where do you get your news? How do you know what's going on in the world? And they literally don't watch the news. They don't read the news. It's like some TikTok mime or something that they see on YouTube, but the algorithms that they see are directly related to what they're interested in. So if they haven't expressed an interest in the news, they're not going to see it. And so this feels like a challenge to our oh, and they're showing me the 60s and the riots of the 60s and how the hippie generation thought that their parents were full of crap and, you know, authoritarian, and so this feels like a balancing of scales of information between older generations and younger generations. And there's a real need for us to talk to our children, to our young adults, to, I don't even know what generation they are now, but not Gen X, I don't think, but no, that was my generation. That's how much I know. But the dialoguing and hearing what concerns them. And I know our sons tend to be kind of nihilistic, like, that you guys are ruining the world. What can we do? They tend to feel disempowered. And so this feels to me like a challenge to talk, not in a dogmatic way, but in a questioning way. What do you believe? What do you believe and why? And because ultimately we're going to hand off this world to our children, and what is left for them matters a lot. I would dare say, for anyone who has a loved one who is in a younger generation, you think about that a lot. What kind of mess are we leaving them? Are they not going to be able to travel in the world like we did with ease? You know, without threat of a hatred for our country. And so this feels very powerful about, because I've tended to believe that the next generations would sort things out, but this doesn't feel like that. This feels like there's a real need to empower and speak to them about the challenges that we're facing, that they seem oblivious to. Excuse me, I'm burping. I do that when I get a lot of energy going. So yeah, that's an interesting card. I am really going to take this one to heart. Dialoguing, and we can't be finger wagging, right? We can't be, you know, you need to care about this and you need to care about that. It's more of a card because they are, let me show you this again. They're enjoying their world. I mean, it's nothing but sunshines and sunsets for them. And, it's on us to engage with them in a responsible and respectful way that encourages them. And they're just reminding me there's someone I've been watching on YouTube, a young man. I really like him. He does the news. I think his last name is Mockler, Mockler. And I was thinking I would try to suggest that they watch him every now and then. Just, yeah, let's watch it and see what you think. Let's talk about it. Open dialogue. That's what this is about. All right. Physically, all right. This is the one that we're just tripping over. This is a thing, natural disasters, job loss, like things that are in our actual 3D realm. God source, what have we got coming? Please, no more rain. In this first week of June and on physically. Sisterhood, the feminine way. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Physically, what does this mean? What are you trying to tell us, God source? Okay. The feminine way. This feels a bit astrological. Like, I know I'm not tremendously versed on astrology. I can't even say it right. I apologize. but I know there's the idea of the divine feminine and Aquarius and these shifting energies coming into play. And the sky is very prevalent in this card. That's what they're drawing me to, is the sky. And this idea of shifting energies affecting us in the feminine way. There may be, this feels political to me. This feels, and don't worry, I'll do some current event cards. This feels like we may have strong women rising up and using their voices. They're showing me Jasmine Crockett. I know she's a congresswoman somewhere. Using their voices, and they need our support. They need our support. They need the sisterhood to stand behind them and to blow a wind into their sails, is what I'm getting. So look for opportunities. And this isn't just about women, this card. This is about an energy of all the peoples who have been downtrodden, is the word I'm getting, who have been supplanted, is another word that's directly from God's source. It's not a word I would use myself. Supplanted by the powerful male energy that has dominated the world for a long time. They're not giving me a period, they're saying a long time. And the rise and the change. And so be looking for actual opportunities to give money to particularly someone with a feminine energy who is speaking for the downtrodden, who's speaking for the supplanted, who's speaking truth to power. I think that's from the civil rights movement. And using our coin, our limited coin, to support these people, and using our energy and our likes, like our social media likes. They're telling me boosting a message. So yeah, this is a really powerful card, and it's in our sphere right now. So look for those opportunities. So in terms of the energetic reading, we've got nurturing yourself and others that you love with simple routine things, not big, splashy, over the top, just things that you already have. I'm just remembering I've got hot cocoa in my cupboard that's been sitting there forever. Maybe I'll pull it out and make hot cocoa for everybody. That is this energy of using what you have to nurture and love on yourself and the people around you. And then emotionally, faith. Have faith. Don't despair. Send into the universe the energy that things are going to get better, that things are getting better. And then mentally, look for opportunities to dialogue with the younger generations and ask them. I was stunned. I mean, we talk about the news all the time in our house. I had no idea that our sons are so ill-informed. And, in some ways being ill-informed, I'm not going to say it's worse than being misinformed, but I mean, or lack of information. I mean, this is a void that needs to be filled energetically. And then the last one, physically, let's lean into the female energy in supporting this change on our earth as we ascend and as we're going through these really awful growing pains. Yeah, let's do that. So, okay. So that's the energetic reading for the week. Now, I want to pull some cards because I have a little more time for current events. And that was a lot. That sisterhood card was a lot. I'm just going to clear the energy a little bit. Think of where I can support the sisterhood. I'm in this little red dot, a little blue self in a big red space. And I'm going to challenge myself to give some money. You know, they're bringing up that I'm a little bit afraid to do that. If I do that, so say I send money to Jasmine Crockett, I've kind of outed myself, right? I've outed myself to the bots, to the AI. I've let people know how I feel. Of course, here I am on YouTube doing it, but I mean, there's a little bit of fear there that I think is good to acknowledge and decide what I'm going to do about it. And so yeah, so if you have some good ideas for the divine feminine, humans embodying that divine feminine energy that are walking our earth right now, that need support monetarily or need support in some other way, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear about that. Let's talk about it. They gave me Jasmine Crockett, but I know there are lots of other worthy endeavors. And they're reminding me of this. My good friend Susan read on the court case that's going on in New York. I wonder if there's a divine feminine energy around that. I'll have to check into that. Let me know what you think. And while you're commenting, take a moment to like and subscribe if you want to keep seeing these readings. I'd really appreciate it. And it means more people may be encouraged and helped along the way. That's my goal. All right, current events. I really want to check on the current leader who has the initials D and T. And I don't want to use any names that we like to use, all right? I like to use them too. Trust me. I am not a fan in any sense of the word, but in order to read on his energy, you can't, or at least I can't go into it with a bias. I need to go into it with a clear energetic platform. And when I decided I was going to do that today, I was kind of wrestling with my energy and my human hopes and wants, and what I want to happen to him. And that just doesn't work in the spiritual space. That God source, the guides, all of them, they don't care. In fact, don't roast me, all right? I'm going to tell you something true. They see him as having served a purpose and serving a purpose. And so, and that's not to say any of the things he's done are okay in any sense of the word, but he has put a mirror up for us to see some really ugly foundational beliefs in particularly the United States. He's empowered the ugliness, and it's not like people suddenly became horrible, right? It's not like he came onto the scene and all of a sudden everyone just decided to be authoritarian, con artists, racist, misogynistic, you name it. I mean, that energy, those core beliefs were already here. We just didn't see it. We didn't want to see it, or we weren't confronted with it. I live in a very homogenous racial area. I very seldom encounter actual racism, but there's not anyone who's not my colored skin here for people to act out against. And so I just want to say that in the energetic spiritual timeline, he is serving a purpose. And so for us to want to, let me speak for myself, for me to want to, check his box and say his time is over, may not serve the bigger energetic growth that we're doing. So I know it truly is awful. Trust me. hate it just as much as you do. I hate seeing, I mean, they're showing me a trash can, right? So who does this, right? Say you put your trash at the end of the driveway, right? And they're going to come pick it up on Tuesday. You've been putting trash in there all week. Who goes down on Tuesday morning before the trash collector comes and opens a lid and just sticks their nose straight in there and goes, yum, 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 I just love seeing all this? Nobody. That is the dumpster nastiness that we are being confronted with, and it's awful. You know, you may have to go to the side and throw up, or you may get sick from some bacteria that you picked up from the dumpster. I mean, I'm not trying to minimize the horrificness. I'm wanting to point out, if we're going to look at this individual, and I have to be in a spiritually neutral space. And so there we go. There's my little speech. Hopefully you guys can support me on that, or at least you don't even have to accept it. Just entertain the idea that it's a view. It's a view. It's a view in the world. All right. So when everyone was posting that it had already happened, which is code for he's passed over the veil, I leaned into it clairsentiently, which is kind of like remote viewing. And oh man, I did not get he was over the veil. It feels different over the veil. I got he's still earth side. And I think since then he's come out and made an appearance. But he was almost coma-ish. He was drifting, and he didn't care. He didn't care about anything or anyone. He was mentally unmoored in what felt like a deliberate way that he liked. And so I feel like it was kind of a drug-induced, and they showed me an IV like going into his hand maybe, which I don't know why you do that, but I mean, you got better veins here, but it was going in his hand, and vitamins maybe. But this was something that took him took him out of his mental alertness for some period of time, like I'd say to days maybe. And oh right, and then they showed me the Matrix. It's been years since I've seen the Matrix. I'm just making sure everything's still recording. But I know that there was a blue pill and a red pill, and at some point they challenge the protagonist to choose. And I don't remember the whole story, but they showed me him choosing the red pill or the blue pill just periodically. And the people around him know what's in these solutions, but he doesn't care. He doesn't know. All he knows is, oh, when I took the blue one, I gave that great speech and got everybody all fired up at blah, and I want to do that again. I want that effect again. Or when I took the red one, it it knocked me out for 24 hours and I woke up feeling refreshed and alert. And so I don't think he even knows what's in these concoctions. Someone does. Someone knows down to the molecule what is in, and they have adjusted and finessed these in a way to maximize his recovery and performance. And so it's just like, I'll take the yellow one today, or I'll take the green one today, or I think I need this. So he hasn't really associated whatever they're giving him with what is in the solutions. He's just associated the result, which is very like him, right? I mean, he doesn't really care about the minutia. So the reason this matters is the person that is, calibrating. The person that is calibrating these solutions is incredibly important. And this person feels like they serve a bigger master. And so I think that's a really important piece of information, just clairsentiently, which means the feelings, the emotions, the intentions around this endeavor. And so I believe that's true. That's my remote view, or my clairsentient lean in. I call it, it's kind of like I lean into the energy of what was going on those few days when he was gone, after he had the blow up with the car maker. So the question I want to ask is, this person and the puppet master who's calibrating his solutions, I hope you're following me, I'm using careful words, do they mean any harm to him? Let's just start there. Is this regimen, I'm getting yes, it is harmful. There is a cost. He is an elderly human with thin cells, they're saying. Thin arteries and thin brain cells. He's just from aging and all the living he's done. So, okay, that was a yes. So there is a harm, so that's the wrong question. Will this concoction lead to his exit from the planet? Eventually. I'm not going to put a timeline on it. Will this concoction, and they're showing me, okay, hang on, why are you showing me that? Very claircog today, or clairvoyant today, which means I'm getting images. So they just showed me the gas that you put in a race car. I think it's called nitrous or something. I know it's like really, all right, they really want me to get into this. Okay, race car, race car, nitrous oxide. What is nitrous oxide? Nitrous oxide. What is it? Okay, it's known as laughing gas. It's a potent anesthetic and analgesic agent. That's commonly used in mental and dental situations. Okay, that fit. I mean, honestly, that fits with that kind of, wow. So this apparently not only can you use it in race cars. Hang on, did I do the wrong thing? Nitrous race fuel. Nitrous oxide for racing fuel too. Wow, that is crazy. I love it when spirit does stuff like this, where it's like something I don't even know. Okay. It lubricates the valve train and cylinders. Okay, well, that's going to be a whole comment. What they want to say is, well, first of all, they wanted us to know a little bit about his cocktail. Wow, that's super interesting. Okay, so what are we trying to decide here? We're trying to assess his health currently and ongoing. And so we've already gotten clairvoyantly, claircog, that his cocktail of different things is harmful to him. And they showed me the race car because that is a noxious fuel that gives a car a boost a subhuman, superhuman, super mechanical boost beyond whatever fuel they use, I guess. I don't honestly know a lot about that, but it makes me happy when I get things I don't understand. So how long can he hold up? How long can he hold up to this? How long can he hold up? Okay, they're saying it's not determined. All right, can you give us information about, how about just about his health currently through the end of the summer? Through the end of the summer. Through the end of the summer. How about, tell us about his health. Ooh, the Magi, signs of divine timing. Oh, this has a lot of energy. Can you see it? Let me get the autofocus to come on. Okay. All right. This means it's none of our business, not our thing, part of the divine timing, part of what I was talking about, that his time is, it's not ours. It's not ours to wish one way or another. It's part of the divine timing. What else can you give us about his health? There's an offering here. Okay, so they're drawing me to the, can you see the little, I think when the wise men brought, I think this was like frankincense and myrrh, and it was a gift offering. This is part of what they're giving him to help him be well-ish. Yeah. Okay, well, we have to respect that. Okay. This just means the divine timing is at play in terms of his, oh, and they're bringing up, okay, I'm going to put aside Trump for a minute because, I said his name. I'm sorry. Hopefully I don't get banned. I'm going to put aside this for a minute and just say his health is not good. And his, and this is part of a divine plan. And I'm sorry. I know we'd like to get more assurances around that, but this is what I'm getting, and this is true. So, okay, they just brought up the conversation that he had with the leader of Russia. Apparently they talked for quite a while. And this guy, okay, they're showing me the root of a tree. This guy, a diseased tree. The tree has no leaves on it. It's diseased. And it has like those little beetles on it. He's at the root of the rot. He's the puppet master. He's the puppet master who the solution, the guy doing the red, the green, the whatever. He has ties there, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. Oh, he is such an awful energy. God source, put your angels around me, protect me. I do not want to touch the leader of Russia's energy at all. I want to know what influence he still has, because, you know, they're puffing that they don't like each other and all this business. I don't believe it. But what influence that's my human. Let's see what the cards say. What energy does he still have over the leader of our country? How much leverage does he still have? That's the question. Is this we're mad at each other business not true, as I tend to believe? All right, put that out of my mind. I just want to know if there are any existing leverages and ties. Okay. Yes. That's a yes card. Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Lovers. Shared mission. Shared mission. Come on. How much clearer can they be? This is the card, the geese card. This is a card I get a lot. But it doesn't mean what it normally does. In this sense, it means yes. This is a yes card. You heard it here first. All this, we're mad at each other, and I don't know what got into him is for the birds. It's theater, they're saying. All right, then I want to ask if they're going to be successful. And I know they're going to tell me it's none of my business. I don't know. God source, what can you share with us about the success of their shared mission, whatever that is? The downfall, it's a shared mission, but they have different motivations. They think it'll have different, they don't agree on the outcome. They're not aligned on the outcome. They've each decided that they're going to use each other. It's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. They have a common goal, but one leader wants to achieve one thing, wealth, greed, power. Another leader wants to achieve, it's more of a philosophical is the wrong word. The leader of the Russian country, ideological, that's the word. It's an ideology. There's a purity of mission that has to do with his beliefs about the way the world should be ordered, and a fallback to old times. And they're showing me again the Orthodox Church in Russia, I think is very powerful, and that there's a connection there. And there's like a Melchizedek. Let me write that down and look it up. I know I've gotten that before. Rasputin, Melchizedek. Energy. Okay, so their shared mission, even though they want different goals, will it be successful? What do you see? Come on. I know a ton of you are Clair everything out there. Clair-intuitive, clairvoyant, clair-cognitive, clair-sentient. Look at this card. Tell me what you see. Are they going to be successful? Is their mission going to stay entwined? So this card says the Holy Spirit, work through me. I don't think it's decided yet. That's what I'm getting. It's like two power structures opposing each, like the yin and the yang. And it's a moment of truth for the planet. What will we decide? What will we support? So, all right, so they're just reminding me, when we're confronted with these difficult current truths, their encouragement is nurture yourself, have faith, educate the younger generation, and support the feminine. So I think this is really beautiful how these card readings have evolved, or how this practice has evolved. So we get basically a blueprint for how we manage our energy, and we get information on the current events. So it's like cause, or no, wait, let me think. Cause, effect, effect, cause, cause, effect, effect, cause. So they go together and they can help us. We can't help the fact that we are living in really difficult times, and that difficult times require spiritual muscle and spiritual learning. But we can control our mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual spaces. We can do this. We can do this. And by doing this, it makes us more able to affect the things in our world. So, so that's my reading, my card reading. I'm going to turn off the camera, but instead of popping back on with my channeled message, I'm going to be posting it later in the week. And I hope this encouraged you. I hope that you will be able to really focus on the things that you can control, and that you found some of this information that we got on current events interesting. I certainly did. The whole, the solution man, let's call him that. That's a very apropos name, because a solution's like what's in the IV bags. But the solution man is, I wonder if they're going to come. I wonder if, I'm going to write that down. Note that name. It has a lot of energy around it. The Solution Man. Or the Solution Team. I think they're a team. The Solution Team. Yeah. So, yeah. So, isn't this lovely? Please like, share, subscribe. And for those of you that are part of Susan Lynn's private paid group, I'm going to be over there this weekend on Sunday talking about soul contracts and some of the work I do with my clients, helping them to heal their soul wounds. Because when we do that work, we really, really ascend spiritually. They're saying ascend is the wrong word. We really have more space in our human bodies for spiritual knowing, spiritual awarenesses, and that's good. So there I am burping again. Excuse me. It's just something that started happening when I'm working with the energy. I don't know why. If you know why, post that in comments too. I'd love to know. So last week I did a lot of it was a lot of natural Gaia, Mother Earth Gaia. And that's energy has not changed. I still see all that coming. If you want to watch that, it's the previous video. But I'll end this for now. I think we've got a good tip off on next week and some kind of juicy information. So thank you. I'll see you next week.